All right, guys. Today we're going to talk about chapter 4, which is power tools. I pull up. All right, so the objectives after studying this chapter, you'll be able to list the most common power tools and equipment, describe the use for power tools and equipment, explain the advantages of one type of tool over another, explain the safety rules that pertain to power tools and equipment. All right, so compressed air. There's a few things you'll need to have compressed air or use tools that use compressed air, such as an air compressor. This is what's going to store the pressurized air so that your tools can use it. Your air lines, which carry the pressure to the tools itself. Your air hoses, which is the flexible hose so that you can move around while using the tools. So air lines are the hard lines that kind of get it close to your bay or the area you're working. And then the air hose is that flexible part that's going to hook up to the tool so you can move around and use it. Pressure regulator, we only want to use but so much pressure when using air tools. So we want to make sure it's set and that we have a certain amount of pressure. So pressure regulator is going to do that. Quick disconnect couplings, this is so we can remove the tool from the air hose and replace it with other tools. Your filter to catch any debris or water or something in the system, and a lubricator. This will help add oil to your tool as you're using it every day. Not all shops will have the lubricator. Sometimes you have to manually add the oil to your tools. Right? Air tools are known as pneumatic tools. The pneumatic means you use stored energy from compressed air for operation. Impact wrenches or impact drivers or impact gun or impact wrench as it's saying up here. It's a heavy duty air wrench with a great deal of torque. Impact wrenches is what you're going to use to remove lug nuts or anything that has a lot of torque to it. It's very tight, so it's going to need a lot of force to get it broken loose and get it off. So we're going to use an impact wrench. Air ratchet, it's just like your regular ratchet you use with your sockets, except it uses air to spin the socket. This helps to remove fasteners quickly. Impact sockets and extensions. So your impact sockets are black. They're made of a different material. That way they're a lot stronger. They're a lot harder to resist that abuse and that extra force that you're going to have with when using an impact wrench. Same with extensions or anything. Any tool, any accessory you're using with the impact wrench is going to have to be that carbon black to make sure it can withstand that power. Right. Air hammer or air chisel is used for driving and cutting operations. So it's used for pretty much anything that you're going to use the air hammer or, excuse me, that you're going to use a regular hammer or a regular chisel for, only it's using air. So it makes the work a lot easier. All right, your blowgun is used to dry and clean parts. When you wash them in solvents, it just blows air through it. Beware when you're using a blowgun, you don't want to put like a bearing on your finger or something and blow a whole bunch of air through it, spinning it really fast, because you might blow all the grease out of it. It'll lock up, but it will continue to spin around your finger and it can hurt you very badly. As well as if it locks up, it can blow apart and it can hurt you. So you want to be careful when using an air blower on something like a bearing or something. All right, your air drill can drill holes, grind, polish, and clean parts. You have different attachments such as a rotary brush, abrasive pad, and a rotary file. So depending on what you're going to be using it for. All right, electric tools. You have a fixed tools such as your bench grinder and your drill press. And you have portable electrical tools such as an electrical drill, rechargeable drill, electric impact drill, You also have electric ratchets now, electric impacts, electric whatever. There's a lot of different electric tools now. So, all right, your bench grinder is for grinding, cleaning, and polishing. Your safety, as far as it goes, is you want to wear eye protection. You want to wear a face shield. Your safety glasses should be worn at all times, but you also want a face shield as well over top of that. Use your shield. So you can see in the picture here, there's a shield attached to the grinder. You have to have these on. It is a OSHA regulation that the shields are in place, and you should be using them as well. Adjust the tool rest. That way it's properly supporting what you're grinding. Do not use the wire wheel on soft metal parts. The wire wheel can grab aluminum or brass or something. It can grab it and it will spin it around itself and throw it back out at you, and can possibly injure you. So you got to watch out for that. All right, drills are to create holes in metals and plastic parts. Use drill bits or twist drills. Bits mount in the drill chuck. It can be either keyed or keyless. If you look at the picture here on the right, the upper picture, the top picture is a key chuck. So you see you have to have a special tool to tighten it. And the bottom one is a keyless chuck. So you can use your hand to tighten that up. Portable electric drills are handheld drills and are cordless. So they can either have a cord or they can be cordless. You also have electric drills or air drills as well. So you have pneumatic drills. So do be aware of that. All right. So your drill press, it's a large floor or bench mounted drill. As you can see in the picture here, it has a very massive motor on the back. Uses a belt underneath that shield on the top to run the chuck. This is for drilling large holes, very deep holes, or a whole bunch of holes in several parts. The handle on the side, the 3 handles, that will twist and you'll pull it down and it will lower the chuck down. That way it creates a little bit of a mechanical advantage, makes it easier to put pressure on the drill and things like that. Make sure to remove the key from the chuck before turning on the drill press, otherwise it will shoot out and hit you. Secure the part to be drilled with C-clamps or other holding fixtures. If we go back, you can see on it, it has a vise that's actually bolted down on the drill press. Most of them are going to be like that. They're going to have a vise or something directly mounted to it. Use your center punch to mark the center of the hole, keep the drill bit from trying to wander and walk. Release the pressure before the bit breaks through the part. So when the bit first breaks through the part, sometimes it catches and it can bind up. So you want to kind of release some of that pressure to prevent that from happening, so it doesn't break or pieces don't fly off at you and injure you. And oil the bit as needed. There is special oils to put on drill bits, cutting oil to help keep it cool and make it drill a lot better. All right, you got hydraulic tools. These are powered by pressurized liquid. There's various types, such as your floor jack, transmission jack, your engine crane, and your hydraulic press. All right, so there's a lot of different hydraulic things to help you lift, to help you have that mechanical advantage to aid in lifting or moving that weight and stuff like that. So we get a little bit more hands-on in the shop with that stuff. So you'll see that in the shop. All right, so we have some shop equipment. You have your tire changer. This is used to remove and replace tires on the wheel. I will give y'all a lesson on how to remove a tire from the rim when we get into that lesson. I'll show you how this machine is used, the safety measures when using it, as well as I'll get y'all the try it yourself and do it yourself. Jack stands, this supports a vehicle during repairs. So if you use a floor jack, a hydraulic floor jack, you always put it on jack stands. The hydraulics can lift things up, but they can't be trusted to hold it. So a jack stand is a mechanical device for safety. Engine stands, this holds engine assembly after you remove it. That way you can work on it, rebuild it, do whatever you have to do, whatever you pulled the engine out for. Some other shop equipment is a cold solvent tank. This helps remove grease and oil from parts. It uses a solvent, it's kind of like kerosene or diesel. You want to use rubber glove, or not rubber gloves, but like latex gloves or nitrile gloves when working with this. You don't really want it on your skin too much. But it works very well for cleaning grease off of parts and stuff like that. High pressure water and steam cleaner. So a pressure washer. This removes heavy deposits from outside of large assemblies. Pressure blaster, also known as a sandblaster or a median blaster. It's an enclosed cabinet. It has little rubber gloves mounted onto it. You'll stick your hands into those gloves so you can work inside of it while it's being sealed. This is for cleaning rusty or corroded parts. So you want it sealed because as you're working with it, that rust and that corrosion kind of gets into a dust, gets in the air. You don't want to breathe it. We want to vacuum it out and contain it, as well as the median. You don't want to be breathing that as well. That can hurt you as well. So we have it in a sealed container. Your oxyacetylene torch. This is for heat, cut, weld, or braze metal parts. Used also to remove old rusted exhaust system. Any bolt that is completely rusted or corroded very badly and you're having trouble getting off, this is what you're going to use it for. You're going to heat it up till it's like glowing red, so the heat will expand that bolt, and that way it will make it hopefully break loose. All right, the parts to it, you have your oxygen tank, which is the long, narrower tank, the taller, narrower tank on the side. This will always have a green hose. Hang on just a second. This will be a green hose to let you know that's oxygen. Acetylene will be the red hose, is the shorter, fatter tank on the side there. That's with acetylene. You have your pressure regulator because you want to control the pressures. You have your hoses and your handheld torch. All right, so you have a welder, which is, all right, hang on just a second, guys. Need you. All right. All right, so continuing on. Welders. We have welders in the shop. Where you go, you'll have welders as well. This uses high electrical current, creates power arc to melt and fuse metals. Complete and proper training complete proper training before using it. So we have welding in our school. Your school might not, depending on where you're at. But you do want proper training to do. It's very useful and handy skill to know how to do. There's a lot of YouTube videos as well. So if you want to go get a cheap Harbor Freight flux core MIG welder, there's a whole bunch of videos on YouTube. You can learn just the basics and stuff like that. So you can do, minor work and things like that. All right, so your soldering gun or soldering iron, this is to join electrical wires. This is like welding for electrical wires. So electrical current heats up the tips and the wires. The solder, which is a lead tin alloy, it is applied and melts. And once it cools, it forms a strong solid connection. So the metal will melt around the wire that you join together, and this will help keep it a strong joint. Other things, you have a battery charger to charge batteries when they're dead or discharge. Drop lights, you can't have too many flashlights around the shop. So this provides a portable source of light anywhere additional light is needed. Pullers, these are specialized tools. These help you to remove seals, gears, pulleys, steering wheels, axles, and other pressed on parts. So when a part's very tightly pressed on, sometimes you have a special puller to help you, to help you pull it off. Steering wheels, stuff like that. Depends on what you're doing, depends on what pulley you need. There's a variety of different types of pulleys or pullers to remove components with. And creepers, this allows the technician to roll around and underneath the vehicle. And a stool creeper helps you to sit down and so you can move around and things like that. So your creeper is the one on the left. That's what you lay down on. Anytime you use a creeper, do not leave it unattended. Lean it up against the wall or something like that when you're not using it. A creeper can become an unintended skateboard, and it's not very fun when someone steps on it and and that happens. The stool, make sure that's put away so people aren't tripping on that as well. Your roll around cart, this carries various tools, equipments to job areas, allows needed tools to be within reach, saves time and effort. So all that's pretty much self-explanatory. Fender covers. Anytime we work on a vehicle, we need fender covers. This prevents vehicle damage. It has kind of a thicker material so you don't scratch the vehicle with your belt buckle or something like that. Zippers, even if you have grease or something on your shirt so you're not wiping it all over fenders, as well as seat covers. This protects the seat from oil, dirt, and grease. So any dirt that's on your body protects you from getting that on the interior. Personalized computers. A lot of shops, when master technicians and stuff, might have their personal computers, so they don't have to go around the shop and find the community one to use, the communal one to use. This helps, with problems with diagnostics, programming, computers, bookkeeping, and reference to service ledger. There's a lot of scan tools that pretty much are just laptops now that plug into the vehicle, has a whole range of functions. So you can look up service information and things like that as well. If you're on the manager side, you'll use it for that bookkeeping and everything as well. So that's the end of that slideshow. Please go to the playlist and look at any of the videos that I have for this. Again, there's a playlist for tools. Click on it, go in there, look at those videos. There's a lot more information in there as well. You can see different tools, a comparison between electric tools and pneumatic tools as well. you need any help, you know where to find me, and ask any questions.